Hi, my name is Mike. Welcome to my vlog about football in general and Burnley FC in particular. A vlog that this week is going to be completely raw, unedited, whatever. As you can tell, I'm on holiday. You could tell, I said this before, that I was going to be on holiday. I knew that Scott Parker was going to be sacked while I was away. I figured it was going to happen because that's the way it happens. But I kind of left it a few days and then I thought I'd put my thoughts down, because if you watch this vlog for a while, you will have seen that I have said quite often that I could not wait for this manager to leave, and now he has left. Now, other people may think that I'm taking the news with a bottle of champagne. That is not true, for two reasons. The first reason is that I never will celebrate the sacking of a Burnley manager or the mutual consenting of a Burnley manager or anything like that. That is not the kind of person I am. Obviously, I want whoever is in the manager's hot seat to do the best for the club and do his best for the club. And the second reason I'm not drinking champagne is I'm allergic to champagne. This is a Bushwhacker. It's got rum in it. It's very, very good. I'm on about a third of them. It's really good. Anyway, so thoughts. I kind of thought it might happen at the end of the season. I couldn't understand why it wasn't done at the start. Not the start, midway through the season. But as time dragged on, I kind of thought, they're going to wait till the end of the season and actually, after 38 games have been played and all that kind of stuff, maybe drag it into even as far as the end of May or June or whatever. But no, ALK, Alan Pace have kind of got shut fairly shortly after relegation was confirmed. Lots of people running conspiracy theories around that. Oh, it was cheaper to do it when he was officially relegated, blah, 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 blah. No one has any idea. I have no idea. One thing I will say is that I'm not sure it'd be cheaper when relegation is officially confirmed, considering it's about $2.5 million per league place. And as I said in the last vlog, we're in real danger of dropping into 20th place behind a team that didn't even have 3 points when the calendar turned to 2026, which is a damning indictment of him being a manager. But I'm not sad about it. I know people will turn around and go, he's a decent guy. Yeah, I think he's a decent guy. I think he's done nothing but hold himself incredibly professionally most of the time. And being a good advocate for Burnley Football Club. You'll never get me complaining about that. You'll never get me saying a bad word about that. The only problem I have is his skills as a manager. Not as a man manager, although I have some thoughts on that, but as a tactician, as a systems manager, so above the Premier League. Ultimately, he's failed for the third time in a row. And I'm annoyed and frustrated by that. I'm not annoyed and frustrated by relegation. I'm annoyed and frustrated by the way we've got relegated. When he was appointed, by the way, I do blame myself for his appointment. When he was appointed, if you go back, when Company was sacked, sacked when Company left, this is before he was appointed, I said I would like something dull and boring compared to Company. What I didn't realise was a finger curled on a monkey's paw and gave us Scott Parker, possibly the most dull and boring football you could possibly get. So I'm not going to. I'm going to blame myself a little bit for what we've had to sit through for 2 years. It's all my fault. Come and talk to me about it at some point. Anyway, the problem I've had with him is the way we've gone down. I've always said as long as we go down swinging, as long as we go down fighting, I don't have a problem with that. But we have not gone down swinging, we have not gone down fighting. If you look at the way the season went, we had 2 wins at home earlier this year, surrounded by, I think it was 8 games, 7 of which were against teams that qualify for Europe, and the last one was Man United. And that was a horrible start to the season, but then it's never going to be an easy one. And the way the team played, I was okay. We were showing fight, we were showing intent. We went to Man United, we lost 3-2 thanks to the ref, thanks to VAR. But we played some nice football. We played very defensive against Liverpool, nearly pulled it off, didn't complain. No problem with doing that. The problem was when the fixtures got, in air quotes, easier, he retreated into this pragmatic shell. He retreated into this defensive shell. And the performances that we'd seen against Man United, against the big boys, Man United, Liverpool, and all that kind of stuff, just disappeared. And he started tinkering with the squad. What do I want out of the next manager? Well, I want a right back playing at the right back. I mean, I want a right winger playing right wing. People forget, or ignore, but people forget. At the start of the season, we had an England international right back playing at right back. We had a Danish international right winger playing on the right wing. And it seemed to work. By the end of it, we've got a lad who's on loan, or was on loan last year in the Championship to us, who's a centre-back and played left-back, playing at right-back, and a right wing, God knows. Absolutely God knows. Because if it was Lyle Foster, he's actually trying to play right wing, whereas if it was, say, Marcus Edwards, and I got a lot of time for Marcus Edwards, but if it was Marcus Edwards, I'm not sure he's even been introduced to his defence or goalkeeper at any point during the season. So we went from 2 internationals, both with Champions League experience, on the right-hand side, to that. And that kind of sums up the problem. For me, that's before you get to the passive, timid football that we had to sit through. So, I'm relieved that he's gone. I'm not glad that he's gone, because glad is not, it's too celebratory a word. I'm relieved that he's gone. What am I looking for in the future? I don't know yet. But what I do want is a plan. I want the club to have a plan that lasts 3 years, a plan that thinks about where the club wants to be. Because at the moment we've swung violently. It feels a little like when we appointed Scott Parker, it felt like it was a little bit on the rebound from company. And it felt like it was whatever company was, we will do the opposite. And that's not a plan. Everyone can see where, well, not everyone. People who've been around football long enough could see where Scott Parker was going. And yeah, he did the job getting us up. Yeah, he got 100 points. Yeah, he got 100 points. We knew he was going to get 100 points. I could have got 75 with that one. With that team, I probably could have got 90. And I'm no good. It was what was happening after that. It's all well having the fling. It's all well having the fling on the rebound, but you're still going to wake up in bed the day after. Let's put it that way. Bit of a weird analogy, but I say 3 of those in. Excuse me a sec. They are very good. So yeah, where do I want to go? I would like to head a bit more towards company style. I would like to head towards the company plan. It wasn't a big fan of the company season in the Championship, and I supported him during the season when we got relegated. Because you can see the plan. The plan was to play good, attractive football and bring players through. That's another thing I have against Scott Parker. Which players have we got this year that have increased their value through the season, even though it's a relegation season? Zian Fleming, obviously. Esteve, if you're lucky, we're going to get what we would have got for him last year. After that, Hardman? Nope. Anyone in the middle? Florentino, definitely not. Cullen's injured, so we're not going to sell him. Hugo Chukwi? No. Chowder? No. Broya? No. So the plan of the club, which is to develop players and sell them for a profit, well, that's been screwed over the last two years as well. So I would like to possibly get back to that. Reading around, people are sort of mentioning names because they've never seen a name that they never think outside the box. They only ever go for names they've heard of. Gerrard's been mentioned. Oh, Jesus Christ, no. But in fairness to the club, Gerrard's been mentioned by people on TalkSport, where Steven Gerrard has appeared. The people on TalkSport who are mentioning Steven Gerrard's name are Steven Gerrard's mates. So they're going to mention Steven Gerrard in exactly the same way that Frank Lampard's mates tried to lever him into the job after Company left. And thankfully Alan Pace said no. People go, well, Lampard got Coventry up. Yeah, well, Scott Parker got us up. See how he does in the Premier League. Not quite so easy. People mentioning ex-players because, again, the only people who've ever qualified to manage Burnley are people who played for us 15, 20 years ago and have failed in the lower leagues because these people have no imagination. We've seen the name Thomas Frank. I would love Thomas Frank, but I think he'll get better offers. When you're an established Premier League manager, sometimes, quite rightfully, you don't want to take a step down to the Championship. I would love to sort of a Thomas Frank, but the point is, I'll say this, I said it before Company was appointed, I said it before Parker was appointed. I want a young, progressive manager who plays good football. The rest of it, I'm not particularly fussed about. It's not about, we're not going to win trophies. We might get promoted out of the Championship, it's going to be tough next year. But it's not about winning trophies and getting into Europe and blah, 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 blah. It's about playing good football, developing players, and making Burnley Football Club an attractive place to come to develop your career and then move on. And that is kind of what Sean Dyche did for a while. It's what Company was heading towards doing, and it's what Scott Parker definitely didn't do. So that's where I'm thinking. In terms of fans and fan reaction, always fun to watch the fallout. In case you're wondering where I am, I'm not going to say exactly where I am, but I've spent the past week or so about 1,000 miles away from the nearest land, and boy, it's been good with Bushwhackers. Unlimited Bushwhackers have been great. Reading the fan stuff has been hilarious. People are still clinging to the sinking ship. Interesting watching the people who have beef with ALK trying to, pin the blame on ALK, because that's what they're going to do. Did ALK make a mistake? Don't know. Got back in the Premier League. But on the other hand, like I say, did they have the fling and forget that they had to wake up to next morning? People say we're entitled because we wanted him sacked, because apparently entitled fans these days means winning more than one game in 25. And winning, paying £219 per home win so far this season. And if you want more than that, apparently you are entitled. To which I turn around and say, just because your life's shit doesn't mean everyone else's life has to be dragged down. Just because you're happy to wade in rubbish doesn't mean no one else deserves more than that. And I think Burnley fans deserve more than that. I think Burnley fans deserve more than one win in 25. I think Burnley fans deserve more than shit on a stick football. It's not even shit on a stick football. But shit on a stick at least has some kind of interest, or does it? To a fly, maybe. Whereas we haven't been interested. Whereas this football has just kicked the crap out of everybody. And that's apparently entitlement. Oh, fuck those people. Oh, first F-bomb. Who knows what the future brings? We just get to the end of the season. We got Villa on Sunday. I'm not home for that yet. Then we got another one, Arsenal away. That'd be fun. And then we got Wolves. And I cannot believe that we are likely to finish behind that Wolves side. Unbelievable. And that's an indictment, as I say, of this manager and what he's done to this group of players. He's squeezed the joy out of it for the fans, and he's squeezed the joy out of football for the players. And that's ultimately Scott Parker's legacy. Yeah, but he got 100 points. Yeah, whatever. One win in 25. Going to be one win in 27. Maybe. You know what? We'll probably draw against Wolves. There'll be one win in 28. Yeah, but he got 100 points. Fuck off. So, I'm going to go and finish that Bushwhacker. And then probably have another couple of Bushwhackers. Because I can. I'm on holiday. I'll see you after the Wolves game. Whenever that is, about 2 weeks from now. I've lost track of time, which has been good actually. That's the kind of holiday you need to have. Hope you're well, and in the meantime, if you like this one, apologies for it being rough and ready, but as I say, literally I'm throwing this together because I feel like it. It's all audience award and all that kind of stuff. But I appreciate you watching this and sticking with it. And if you like it, click like. If you really like it, click subscribe. They are more professional than this, obviously, for your own definition of professional. And in the meantime, up the Clarets.